think the biggest security challenge we have in the north lies with the governors and then the federal government. In the northern part of the country, you find out that most of our governors engage in building airports. In Jigawa, they are building airport. In Bauchi, they are building airport. In Taraba, they are building airport. In Kebbi, they are building airport. I mean, in Katsina, government house in Katsina of about 15 billion or so. So if these funds are not channeled towards agriculture, engaging the people, when you deny people education, because when you give people education, there are certain level of nonsense they will not take. Now, when you deny people education, you deny them livelihood, of course you will get these kind of things. So I call on the governors and the federal government to please address these issues. And as long as these issues will not be addressed, and there are sacred cows, like when the president said there are terrorists in my government, he did not come out to show us those terrorists. So how do you expect this thing to go away? It will not go away. Amnesty is not enough. If there should be living example for fight against terrorism in this country, living example, or living example for fight against corruption in this country, we all don't have them. So as long as you don't have them as a government, this insecurity will continue. But of course, when the government changes, when serious people come to take over, nobody will be above the law. But as of today, so many people are above the law. You know that. Yeah.
Can I ask your briefing, the issue of utterances by people? Clark responded to what was said or what the House did, calling for some of those people. But that if they must be investigated, that these other people who made similar threaten the security of this country enough with their statements?
I totally agree with you that anybody, me inclusive, that have made any statement that is divisive or that can bring about problem should be invited. Simple. That's just it. But the law does not, they don't work. All these people that have made, all of us that have made these statements, none of us have said, arrest me if you can. I dare you to arrest me. And if you don't arrest me, you are shameless coward.
Because nobody said they should arrest you at that time.
Who?
They said they should arrest him. That's why he's there in that, okay, you didn't arrest the other man. Come and arrest me. Let me see.
No, what are you speaking on his behalf?
No, I'm just quoting what was...
Yeah, so if you're not speaking on, I'm telling you, if you're not speaking on his behalf, I have also been invited, to, not this time around, but of course, other times, of course, I have all my profile with. What I'm saying, anybody, let there be example. If I have done anything wrong, I should be arrested. I should be prosecuted, so that there will be example that I have done this and that and that, and that this government cannot condone, these kind of utterances. But not when somebody, that's why we're saying it's the president talking. He's the one himself talking, because he's the only person that cannot be arrested. Thank you.
Are you speaking for any group, whether political or ethnic, because you keep emphasizing the House of Fulani and the Zoo? I wonder how you are speaking in your capacity, in your personal capacity. Then, secondly, sir, even though you lumped up the issue of Edwin Clark, Asari Dokubo, and the rest of them, Goodluck Jonathan with the Joy Nation, I don't know whether you are aware that even some of the elders in the Jaw Kingdom have come out to speak against what some of these people have said, like Tam David West, who even attacked Asari Dokubo in the similar. In view of these circumstances, do you still hold the Joy Nation or President Goodluck Jonathan responsible for such comments?
Let me start with the last this question. Why I'm doing this was because day before yesterday I was so disappointed. I was amongst certain people. When you publish, they will know. Some former ministers, highly placed people from Ijaw Nation, who were condoning those utterances, who were even telling me that yes, you these Fulani people, we have to deal with you. And I feel if elites like them, educated people who have benefited also in this country, are talking like that, then it is President Jonathan Goodluck talking. Now then, whether I'm speaking on behalf of anybody, I'm speaking on behalf of myself, but as a Fulani man. I am very proud I did not choose to be a Fulani man, just like you did not choose to be a Agbese or so. So I'm very proud to be a Fulani man. And you see, I want you to also understand that I told you that the elites of this country are one and the same. The Muslims and the Christians, the Ijos and the Fulanis at that level are the same. But now we have somebody who is trying to say, look, we are different. That's Mr. President and his Ijo nation.
I have a question.
So, I will not divulge their names. I cannot say their names. But I am coming forward and, honestly, I'm not scared of death. Because unfortunately or fortunately, all of us will die somehow. Everybody. So I would rather die an honorable person than to die a coward. Thank you.
My name is ADAMU.
Well, first of all, let me explain to the whole Nigeria that the oil in Bayelsa belongs to Jigawa. The oil in Delta belongs to Jigawa. Yes, because we are called Nigeria today. And I told you, I also, when I was in the house, I was a member of the NDDC. And what I saw there, the elites of Niger Delta are responsible for the problems of Niger Delta. Them alone. Them alone. If in this country, certain person who could barely express himself in English is in charge of the territorial security of the marine security of this nation, it's open. Millions or billions of dollars contract is given to somebody who certainly has not seen the four walls of classroom. So that's what I'm telling you. The oil belongs to us all. And we as Nigeria shall do everything possible to make sure we take that oil so that Jigawa people will have the oil as well. Will have the money of the oil. Anybody who thinks the oil of Bayelsa belongs to only Bayelsa is just deceiving himself. As long as we are in Nigeria, we will make sure that we have uninterrupted supply of oil so that there will be uninterrupted supply of money to Jigawa State. As long as we are called Nigeria. Thank you. For all of us here, we have National Assembly, and the Constitution has vested that powers in them to discuss this kind of thing. But of course, I don't mind if we discuss who we are. And the truth of the matter is that if I fly from Kano to Lagos, I know I am in a different place. We don't dress the same way. We don't eat the same food. That kind of a thing. And there are certain things that if you do in Kano, you will not go scot-free. Vice versa. So of course we are not the same people. We have to understand that, look, I'm a Fulani man, and Ijo is different, Yoruba is different, but then God has made us to stay together. So why can't we attempt to stay together? And I honestly do not mind, even if we're going to part ways. Let's sit on the around the table and agree that, look, that oil of Bayelsa, Jigawa cannot have a share. No way. I don't mind us talking like that. But as of today, that oil, we shall do everything within our means, everything with our blood to defend our oil in Bayelsa. We will do everything possible to defend that oil in Bayelsa. It belongs to Jigawa State as well. So that's what I want them to understand. This country fought civil war. And that's probably why we are still together. And anybody who threatened, unless if we are defeated, then we can leave the oil. But if anybody threatens the flow of oil, we shall fight and make sure oil flows. Thank you.
But some people are of the opinion that they are no longer interested in this marriage of 100 years. Will you now then suggest that there should be divorce?
Well, after discussions first, we need to discuss before we decide we're not going to be together. But as of today, I believe in Nigeria. You can never see me without this. This is part of my dress code. I'm telling you. And I've told you a series of things that I've done to make Nigeria one. I mean, when we were walking the streets of Abuja and Lagos and Enugu, where were the Ijaw people? Where were they? When I went to court, did Jonathan Goodluck give me money to go to court against a Fulani man like me? No. We did it for Nigeria. That's why I'm saying Ijaw oil, Bayelsa oil belongs to Jigawa people. And we shall do everything possible to defend our oil in Bayelsa, because God put our oil in Bayelsa, just like God has put minerals resources of Bayelsa in Jigawa.
Yeah, I'm from News Agents of Nigeria now. My name is Gabriel. I can see you talking more on oil. Now, what's your advice to the National Assembly concerning the PIB?
You know, my honest opinion is that I told you I was a member of NDDC. If the governors of those parts of the country can put that 13%, the NDDC will work. Minister of Niger Delta will be allowed to work. The PIB to me is non-starter. In fact, I will campaign against that PIB. There are certain, like when the oil producing communities are seeking for share in our oil, that shall not happen. And you will see we will campaign also. I mean, it's politics. Let them also campaign. It's not through fight or through war. No, through dialogue. We shall do everything possible to make sure everything stays as it is. Use the resources you have. If Bayelsa will get the resources, the amount of money Bayelsa gets in a month is more than the amount of money 4 or 5 states in the north get in a month. It's there. These records are there, published every day. If you don't utilize them, go to Kano and see what governor of Kano State is doing. I'm telling you, we are not on the same page, but the truth must be said. Go to Lagos, see what governor of Lagos is doing. But when you go to Bayelsa, see what the governor of Bayelsa is doing, you'll be disappointed.
There's one issue about it, that they should be confined to their states so that they can, put up some grazed lands and keep their cattle in check instead of moving all over the country and killing people. Please, what's your suggestion? How do we stop this before it becomes a full-blown war?
You are totally right. In fact, this problem is not just in maybe other parts of it happens in my state as well. But the problem is because of the rain season. And my people have cows, of course, that they need to feed. But I think the government is doing something now. I have seen that they are trying to arrange for grazing areas in all the states, whereby they will be confined to those grazing areas. And I hope if government does that, it will solve the problem. We start developing manpower to agriculture, mineral resources, other mineral resources than oil. I agree with you, of course. But as long as the oil is there, we'll work on the oil first.